Being recorded, in case you missed that. Have a schedule this morning, and I'm so excited about it. I'm excited about the partnership and what we are doing, not just meeting, but what we are doing. So we're going to get started this morning. Just some precautionary things, just some little things. Make sure there's a sign in QR code at each table. Please scan that, make sure you sign in. If you would, we would like to record your attendance. We're so happy you're here this morning. As you heard, we are recording this session. So, just for your information, we will be recording. If you don't want to be recorded, kind of stay out of Mr. Owl's peripheral view. That's what I said. I agree. So, just a review, this is our Best Start AV Vision. We are building collaborations to support a flourishing community up here in our AV. We are operating in compassion, respect, communication, integrity, that's a big one, and acceptance. These are our values. So our agenda, while it is full, is simple. Just introduce yourself to someone at your table. Make sure you know each other's names. We're going to do a review of what we have been doing since June. And then we're going to do our CCA, our Community Change Project updates, along with our committee updates and invitations, and going over some Best Start learning opportunities and announcements. Tess, I'm going to call on you in a second. I'm so glad you're back. These are our desired results. This is what we want you to get out of our meeting today. Make a friend. Get to know each other. We're going to leave here with a clear understanding of our progress of each of our CCA projects. So you're going to know what we're doing, what we are about. And then we're going to encourage you. You're going to make a commitment. Join a committee, a project team. This is our objective. It's all about our community. And our meeting agreements. Come on, Miss Penn. Yes, I missed her. Yay. Why don't you read this one?
Our meeting agreements. Be punctual. Stay present and engaged and on topic. Put the focus on the future. Be offensive. Be yourself. One person speaks at a time. Agree to disagree respectfully. Finish your sentence, not your paragraph. Step up, step back. Exercise confidentiality when necessary. Be patient and open to the technology. We're present. Assume positive intentions. A rainy day, we will make flowers. Separate person from the row. Be active and have fun.
Hey, have fun today. I wish I had my music. We could do our, where your fans at, with the boots on the ground kind of thing, but I think it's a little too early. I can do it because I have my Celsius water and coffee, so I am like, what my face at? I will never combine those two again. Okay, so we're gonna move on with some updates. Where have we come since June? What's been happening? If you remember, if you came in June, we did we had guest speakers come in, Measure of America, and they did a data walk with our community, collecting information, collecting data about the Antelope Valley. They're doing some research because they're putting together a booklet and just really some information that can help our Antelope Valley. So we provided them with information, with our stickies, with our thoughts about what is transpiring here in the Antelope Valley. What are some of the things that we see are parallel, are incentivized to help our area. Okay. We also have some updates for our Best Start Partnership Playgroup, cohort number 2. So we've met twice at Play Amazing. One of our partnership people, Cassandra, is the facilitator, and we are actually having new people come into the play group that are learning about what Best Start is all about and understanding what our CCA is, understanding about what systems change is. So we're working with the community. The kids are having an amazing time, so the families are able to bring their little ones to Play Amazing. But at the same time, we are actually going over everything that we have been doing here with you all in partnership with new members. With that being said, bring new people to the table. Who else can we invite to this table of a partnership and let them know, hey, Best Start is here for our AV. We are an initiative that is community-led. So we're letting them know about that. So yes. So today we're going to be going through our community change agenda projects, and there are several. We're going to go through each one. In fact, if you are on a community project, get with someone that's at your table. If you are not a part of one and you're sitting there, after going through this, make a decision of which project you would be interested in working on, because we are actively doing things. So briefly, our community engagement and education, these are our areas of our projects. So we're going to community engagement and education. We're using the Primatura model to develop a curriculum to train childcare community promoters or promote primatoras or promoters. These individuals will gain expertise in childcare options, costs, enrollment processes. They will actively support resource fairs and facilitate workshops for parents to enhance awareness and access to childcare services. We did make some changes, but we'll get to the change of the name shortly. Our stakeholder engagement and collaboration goal. We will partner with CCRC's Child Care Initiative Project program to support 20 Best Start members in obtaining child care licenses within a year. Establish 4 child care resource hubs in partnership with key stakeholders. For example, the Ohana Center is one, SLEA Therapies is another, Save the Children, CCAB. These hubs will be equipped to guide families to CCRC resources and will host quarterly informational sessions on child care options, costs, and enrollment. And then we will also engage the identified hubs in hosting child development trainings tailored for child care providers in their surrounding communities. Our pilot program and capacity building. Well, we will be developing a pilot program to equip child care community promoters. I told you, underline that name because you're going to see some changes with business coaching skills. We want to make sure they know what to do in this area. So we're going to be business coaches, enabling them to support individuals who are interested, that have stated they are interested in starting a child care business. Also, we're going to develop a micro-credentialing program in collaboration with ABC College, which is focused on high-quality child care and infant care. This program will include mentorship components, so connecting them with other people in the community that have these businesses that are successful. They will get mentored with licensed providers in need of teachers. Policy advocacy and reform, establishing ECE, that is early childhood education, and AV coalition comprised of parents, child care providers, families serving organizations to thrive, policy reform efforts including rate reform. I like that part, rate reform. Our workers need to get paid. slot increases, and local investment in the child care system. So this coalition will facilitate advocacy, training, focusing on DEI and anti-bias, anti-racist practices, special needs, and multilingual learners. The goal is to train up 50 parents per year. That's a great goal to become advocates for early childhood education. So I'm gonna go to data driven. Antelope Valley Resource Mapping will map and document available resources for families with children 0 to 5 by collecting data on childcare, early education, health, and family support services. Using a digital platform, the map will be regularly updated through community input and provider collaboration. Okay, so these are that's what we're working on. We're going to go to Spanish. I'll give a few minutes to read through those. I know you were translating, but go ahead. So, our project updates. Where are we? What have we come in contact with? What have been some of our achievements so far? You all have been working. For those of you who have become a part of our projects, thank you so much. Things are happening. What has been some of our challenges? What challenges have we encountered so far? And what are some of the strategies that we have come up with? Then we got to talk about our next steps. So we're going to start with our projects that are in operation. The first one is our community engagement and education. And these are the areas. So I'm going to have Gloria come forward. She's going to talk to this point, and anyone that's on her committee can join her work group, all those who are with her. Yeah, you can read it and then you can speak to the points.
Well, we'll start. We have one of our participants, well, actually two, I'm sorry. So our community engagement education right now, what we've done is had 2 meetings so far. We've reviewed outlines of what the curriculum might look like for educators. And within the outline, we identified that we need some clarity and more understanding of well, we're going to go ahead and deliver this type of information. So I wanted to go ahead and thank some of our participants that are here. These are some who participate, Sofia, Cari, Sandy, Cynthia, Maricela, and Jesus. I know Maricela is not here. But I really wanted to thank you guys because I know participating means also taking some time out of your day, a busy day, and making this happen for Best Start. So I want to give you guys a round of applause. Thank you. But we're still welcoming anyone who wants to join. We do need, we're trying to see if we can meet twice a month, but I know that's pretty much stretching it. Our next steps to do, like I said, welcome new participants, revise and simplify curriculum materials, and hopefully present a curriculum presentation. One of the things within our project that we had a challenge was the word promotora. In English, we decided the word educator instead. So the success is being meeting before the end of July. We have 6 participants in our project. And like I said, anyone who is interested, you can contact me so we can go ahead and I'll send you information on when is our next meeting. Okay? Any questions? Oh, you guys went all 10. Great. Thanks. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Gloria. And we will have time at the end of this so you can talk with those who are leading out in these particular, what do you call them? Work groups. That's what I say, work groups. If you would like to join one of them. The next Give it a few minutes. Our next work group, are the pilot programs and capacity building. I am with that particular group, and I'm going to ask my ladies who are going to come up and share what have been some of our achievements so far, what we've done. So come on, Miss Jan and Miss Denise, come on up here for me. Thank you so much. And I appreciate these ladies just coming and actively being a part. So who's gonna go first? Denise? I've been voluntold.
So, what have been our achievements so far? We've had 2 meetings between July and August, and they've been very productive. We've been able to work through the rough draft. We took a look at it, as far as the business curriculum changes that we suggested. We wanted to talk a little more about nutrition as well as special needs children, so that we're addressing all issues. There were also a couple of the sessions that we thought would be better combined, so that we don't spend an entire week on that session because it's not necessary. So we're in the process right now of reviewing that. And I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Miss Jan because she has more expertise on this aspect of it.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. Yes, just like Denise said, we've definitely been trying to cover some areas. A little about myself. I have been a childcare provider in the Antelope Valley since 2001. I have a large family facility, so I'm really enjoying that we're finally getting something like this in our community where we could share the information and our knowledge and our expertise in order to better our community. So I am really excited about that. But one of the areas I think Ms. Durrell wanted me to just kind of mention is we've been really diving into like the food program, and our area is considered a food desert. And if you're familiar with that, some areas are able to get like food and adequate food for their children. Well, a lot of people do not understand that there is a reimbursement program for for childcare providers with our food program. So we're just wanting to make sure that when we train the people that want to be providers, that we make sure we're able to give them all of the information, because I have been on teams where there's providers and I'm like, what do you mean you don't know there's a food reimbursement program where yes, you can get funding back for the, for serving healthy meals to the children. So that's something that we're working on. Anything else you want to cover, girl?
We need a special.
Special needs.
The strategy for special needs. I have brought up in one of our meetings that when providers are making their contracts and their agreements with parents, you have to be very specific in regards to children with special needs. A lot of parents, they will come to have an interview with you, but they won't bring their children, especially those with special needs. You'll sign them up, because I've made this mistake. And then here we go on first day, and I'm like, because it has special needs, and we have to be able to be sure that we're equipped to handle those special needs. It's not a dig on nobody. It's not to put down the kid, the parent, or us as providers, but if I can't provide the service, what's the point? So we have to be very clear in understanding what type of children we will care for in our facility. And if we decide to do children with special needs, we have to make sure that, first of all, we equip ourselves with education on how to deal with them, because it may seem easy, but some kids, especially nowadays, they have really specific needs, okay? And it could get very challenging. And if your team is not equipped to handle those needs, it could be a very big problem, even legally, okay? So we want to make sure when we do our contracts that we address and really think about what type of center and facility we want to run and operate.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. That's our TA. And just so you know, we are doing recruit those that are in our partnership stakeholders that are here in our community. that have, experience. We want experienced people. If we're gonna, fine tune and teach people to be the educators, we want professional people who have done it to teach them so that it's successful. You know, we want them to succeed. So I thank my team because they have been reaching out to other professionals that have centers that are educators. One of the ladies came on and she is a retired special ed teacher from LA Unified School District. And she says, oh, definitely, including specialty teaching or what needs to be in the curriculum that address children that have special needs. So we are actively recruiting. If you would like to be a part of this pilot program and capacity building, we want to make sure, come see me, come see me. Next, we have our data-driven analysis, and I'm going to turn this over to David.
Thank you, Carol. All right, so the projects that we have are outlined right here pretty easily. I mean, I know that when we had our big old chart full of all of our projects, it's kind of easy to get lost in the minutia of all that text, but basically this is what ours boils down to. It's a childcare needs assessment and resource mapping that we aim to do within, a year's span. And if you can go to the next one. Thanks, sir. Sorry. I didn't take the clicker. Thank you. But anywho, these are the questions right here that I put down. So each number pertains to each question that's being asked. And so what we have right here is that we have, two projects that we're working on, right? And so this requires us to kind of understand the priorities. So what we're working on so far and what we've achieved so far with working that out and trying to see if we can establish a timeline is that we've actually created the childcare needs assessment in the first place. So when we were creating the community change agenda in the first place, the childcare needs assessment was on the top of the list in regards to any sort of data and research efforts that Best Start can conduct, right? And so the purpose of this childcare needs assessment, as just a reminder, has been that we want to see from the perspective of somebody asking the question, somebody who wants to support, maybe in the position of somebody in legislation, somebody in the position of a funder even, or somebody working with the community that wants to know how we can continue to develop our childcare ecosystem here within the Antelope Valley. We're not just a food desert, as I mentioned previously, we're a childcare desert as well. So what we're doing with this is that we're utilizing this research piece in order to kind of create an impact in which we have something concrete to share with the diverse feedback, opinions, expressions of our childcare providers within the Antelope Valley. How can we help you? How can we support you? Where do you need support in? And what do you think is actually even working? So that's the purpose of this assessment that we've created within this data committee space. And on top of that, it's been utilizing participatory feedback as well. So this has not just been something that's created in-house. It's been utilized within the committee space and it's provided, we've gathered feedback from our members and providers. And on top of that, in the things that we've accomplished is that we also have the skeleton. So our childcare needs assessment is the primary project that we're trying to get out. But we're also trying to work on something that works with the projects of policy, of community outreach and pilot programs, in which we have a resource map. So, if Best Start's working right now within this community space, within our data projects, we're working towards creating that resource map that allows individuals to find maybe childcare providers near them, provide resources to families 0 to 5, such as those food banks, know when they happen, find spaces. There's even like religious spaces as well, faith-based resources. And on top of that, we're hoping to continue to expand and improve upon it to find what other relevant resources there are to a 0 to 5 family. So that's something that we're working on right now as we gather a list of providers to ask within our network of the childcare needs assessment. We're actually gathering that data to include on there, and we're working in tangent to fill in that resource map so that we can provide that information to our community in an easily accessible way. It's a map, right? You can click it, it's like Google Maps. You find something that you like, you click it, you can actually get directions right to it straight from your phone, right? So that's something that we have. I wanted to actually invite Denise to see if you wanted to read through our second piece. So we're on number one. So we're asking what have been some of the challenges you have. This is the ones that we have written down, but if you have anything else.
Okay, so some of it is missing information. One of the biggest things is looking at who's missing from the table. And that's one of the things that we've really been looking at, because in order for us to really get the data and to have accurate data, we need to get those that have been missing from the table previously. And that's one of the things that we've been looking at is, are we too centralized in one group of people? Who else do we have to include in the data? Establishing a scope of childcare providers and resources. That's a really big part, because one of the things that I've learned recently by going out in the community and in other meetings and such is oftentimes we don't know what resources are available. And in order for us to really be effective here in the Antelope Valley, all of that has to be brought together so that we can be that resource hub. So that, as David said, when people say, okay, I need this, we can say, okay, you can talk to Miss Jan, or you can talk to Miss Anna, or you can talk to Miss Kari, depending upon what it is that they need. So that's one of the things that we really want to have, is to make sure that that data takes everybody into consideration, that we don't have anyone missing from the table. And are there people there that shouldn't be there? Because sometimes there are. So we really need to focus on who needs to be at the table. And that's the biggest thing that I know I've taken away from the meetings.
Thank you, Denise. Yeah, Denise has been a core member of our data committee. They're provided a lot of feedback and helped create a lot of a lot of that scope that we're talking about. Understand that and where to reach out, how to reach out. But that leads me to the next piece in which we talk about what strategies we have as a working team. And so a lot of times when we talk about what we work, our work in the data committee or within this data and research project, is that a lot of individuals feel like there's not very much room to be a part of it. Like maybe it sounds something scary. I don't really know about computers or research. Maybe this doesn't pertain to me even. But what we've established within this committee is actually that there's a lot of spaces for individuals within the community to support on this. So when you're somebody that is, able to work on an analysis, able to look through the data that we collect, create insights from that, then there's a space for you as an analyst within the community. If you're somebody that says, you know what, I'm not that good with computers, it's not my forte, but I do know a lot of people within the community. I am able to outreach to individuals that this would be important to. Then there's space there as somebody to outreach to with what we're doing. And on top of that, if you're somebody that's, for example, a provider, you're interested in this, it's relevant to you, maybe you want to provide feedback, then there's room there as a support as well. So, if you're able to make it once within a period of 6, that's still very valuable. And, we see a lot of members that have come in and provided feedback that's actually, they may not be core members of the committee or within this project, but have still provided essential feedback as we continue to develop on these projects. So moving on from that, from establishing roles and ways that anybody can join in, we also have participatory efforts in this. And so this works kind of also hand in hand with that, in which all of the work is not just kind of within one centralized opinion. It's participatory in practice, right? We're not going to achieve systems change with only like 1 or 2 people driving the systems change project. We need a lot of people's opinions and a lot of people's feedback. So that drives the participatory efforts that we have. So before we go through with the project, we need that community feedback and we need that expert opinion as well. And then to top it off, we have the last thing, which is the next steps. So the first one is that we need to develop a full list of like addresses for these resources, right? We have kind of big dreams for this one. There's a lot of data to be collected for this one, and addresses is one thing. But on top of that, like I mentioned previously, there's things to capture in terms of, if this place is near me, is it for my family? Am I eligible for this? Is there a point of contact? I tried calling this person and they didn't answer beforehand. Things like that, in which it makes it easier for the person accessing that resource map to be able to scope out the place beforehand. But anyways, on top of that, we also have our configuration of that resource map. So there's the technical aspect of that we're working on right now. And then for the last thing that I want to talk about for this, it's also rolling out the childcare needs assessment. So within our next data committee session, which is on Tuesday at 11 in the morning on Zoom, we're gonna roll out that final draft that we've been working on for the past 2 months. And so before we roll that out, we want to go over it with the committee, make sure everything's good, no typos, no like language that makes anyone feel excluded. Make sure that all the questions that we wanted are on there and they're able to be analyzed. So that's going to be shared so that we can start outreaching to the childcare professionals that would take this survey. And then I have the clicker now. I wanted to include just a quick visual of what it would look like. So this is kind of a running draft. And so you can see here, there's different filters, right? You can filter out what it is that you want to see. Because if you have all these filters up, it's going to look like a big jumble of mess. So you clear out, you open filters. Say I live by George Lane Park. I see there's a childcare provider here. There's some by the Prime Desert Wood Preserve. And so that's just an example of what we want to access, right? Or what we want this to look like. So that's an example of what this looks like. Yes. Yes.
Are you able, like, instead of seeing the dots, are you able to see it in a list format?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. So if you drop down that little tab right there, and I'm giving you guys like a tutorial on something that's not even like that, so I'm sorry. But like if you click that drop down right there, you can see the full list of all the options, right? So there you go. But yeah, so that's the start of it. We want to continue stocking it with, like I said, those points of contact so you have somebody to talk to before you get there. Eligibility maybe if that's available first. But let's see picture there. The next piece is just showing you guys what the needs assessment kind of looks like. Like I said, we still want to present the final draft, but I wanted to provide a sample of what these questions are going to be asking. So the first one is asking, how likely is it that you lose your job by providing childcare or childcare business if you're required to take at least 2 weeks of sick leave? Meaning, how financially stable is your business to which if you were to have an emergency, everything wouldn't come crumbling down, right? I'm seeing a good questions, right? And so we're seeing, and we have another one. At any time within the last month, did you delay getting medical care, including physical or mental health visits? Meaning, is your job preventing you from accessing care? Is your provider job allowing you to even get medical care? Well, there you go. Now we see the necessity for these questions. And then the last one is, what would you like your elected officials or other policymakers, blah, 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 to know about how you're doing or what you need as a childcare provider during this time? So.
Amber Alert.
As we check out what the Amber Alert is, this question is just aimed at the end. It's open ended. See, even I'm getting mad at Anyway, this question is just aimed at for whenever we share this with our policymakers, we have a direct question to share. So, for example, if we were to have the policy committee go to Sacramento, have people go up and speak to our state legislators, they actually have data from our childcare providers that says a lot of our providers want this to be shared. A lot of our providers need this in terms of direct need or aid, so that we can start going on that system change effort. But anyway, I think that's it for me. I'm gonna go for policy advocacy. Definitely. Thank you.
I know that was a lot. I know Gloria, Dorel, David went. I do want to leave some space right now to see if anyone has questions regarding their community change project, the work that they've been doing. And if not, then I'll continue on. I just wanted to make sure. Yes.
Are we trying to get this all together by the end of 2025 or by summer of 2026?
Are you just the data part right now or the whole thing in general?
Yeah, all these.
So it's gonna be a year. We know it's gonna take a while. The first project, the one at Gloria, the community engagement, we're hoping to get that up and running before the end of the year of this year. Like the rails, the pilot program and capacity building, that we know is gonna take much longer. So what we're trying to do is recruit childcare educators and to train them in the how to enroll to childcare, how to assist parents on what childcare is best for your family, your needs. And then in hopes that they're equipped and they know the knowledge that now these childcare educators can go out to the community and help them understand better how to do that. And then after that, they do that, then they will graduate onto the Rails project. And they will then learn the business aspect, how to open up a childcare, like what do you need as for the business part. And so then these childcare educators will now help those who want to open up a childcare. So that is kind of, it's gonna be a process. So all of them have different timelines. I would let David speak on his timeline just for better, clarity.
Oh, yeah, just real quick. Ours is within a fiscal year. So our plan started in July, which all the planning happened. So by next year, June, we hope to have accomplished both of our data projects. So June of 2026, hopefully we have the needs assessment rolled out and analyzed, and we have the resource map running as well.
And you'll be sharing that resource map with different community partners?
With everybody, with maybe residents, partners, anybody that's interested in it. It's an open project.
Any other questions? And that was a good question. Thank you for bringing that up. Oh, yeah. Denise is a working woman. She is. She's like, I also want to invite Cynthia. She's as well as policy, a part of the policy project, advocacy project. Thank you, ladies. I would go ahead and start, just a reminder, so with the policy, advocacy and reform, community change project, what we're really focusing on right now is developing a coalition. So this coalition will include parents, childcare providers, family serving organizations. So like Cynthia, she works for the regional center. Denise, she works for A Plus Nutrition. She has her own nonprofit. As you can see, one of our challenges is getting others to join the policy project. I put policy committee to expand our coalition. We still are missing the parents. Not saying that they're not parents, but we're still missing those parents with children 0 to 5. We're still missing childcare providers in this project. So that has been a challenge for us so far. What we're doing now is really developing a parent advocacy training. So now we will train parents on DEI, anti-bias / anti-racist practices, special needs, as we mentioned, and then multilingual. So really equipping parents to learn how to advocate for their child. So I'm gonna stop talking right now and I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to who wants to go first. And then they'll go ahead and read out what has been our achievements so far.
So our achievements. We've developed a clear understanding and a timeline for the project. So we have some ideas in mind of when we want to be able to start actually training the parents. We've completed the first 2 trainings, the Advocacy 101 and the Policy Landscape This Way. This gives a foundation of what policy is all about so that parents do understand that. We reviewed and gave feedback for the first 2 topics. So we took a look at it and decided what we might need to add or what we might want to take out as far as that aspect of it. So pretty much, as far as the achievements, we've been looking at it and trying, to make sure that we're covering everything that people do need to understand, especially the parents, if they're going to advocate and if there's something that they see as a need for their children, we want to know what that is, because united, we can accomplish a whole lot more than individually. So we want our parents to understand that as a unit, we can make a difference when it comes to policy.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so for the next steps, we're gonna complete the next trainings on, like Stephanie mentioned, on DEI, anti-racist practice and special needs, and then train the first set of 25 parents in October. We also are very excited. I met with Stephanie, Department of Mental Health, and we're actually gonna kind of try to, we're gonna have an event for Hispanic Heritage Month, so I hope you guys all can make it. And in that training, we're also gonna be talking about Advocacy 101. We kind of just want to get a gauge from the participants, see from the community, how did they take that training? What kind of feedback do they have? And also because of, you know, what is going on in the world, advocacy is really needed right now, and parents need to get educated on what advocacy is, how to advocate, and the difference it can make, because a lot of times we feel like our voices are not being heard, or a lot of times we feel that we can't make change. And we want to empower our parents and let them know how advocacy has made a difference, even with the special needs community, especially, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar here, but Regional Center, the whole system of Regional Center systems were created because of parents advocating for their children and standing up and going to the legislators and fighting for the kiddos. So we want to share that story and share other stories in different ways to show how advocacy has made the differences in our community. So we're gonna have a Hispanic Heritage Month. Me and Sandy will be presenting on Advocacy 101. We're gonna have Habitat LA presenting on also housing opportunities. And we're gonna also have Salva come in about immigration rights. So we're trying to keep in the theme also of advocacy for Spanish-speaking families to highlight Hispanic Heritage Month. So we just really want parents. I think as a parent, as a mom, I didn't know how important advocacy was. Now that my son is 5 years old, I learned I have to be his biggest advocate in every system and not to trust every system, which sometimes can be disheartening. But we have to advocate with our medical insurances. We have to advocate with our regional centers. We have to advocate with our schools. And I'm sorry to say, but you cannot trust every system. There's a lot of change. There's a lot of broken system and there's a lot of change that's needed. And in order for your child to be successful in school, in their education, be as involved as possible. Be as involved in the community, be as involved in your school, and really just be empowered to create the change your child needs to be successful. So we're very excited. I'm very excited. I think one of our successes is the amazing presentations that Stephanie has created in the team. I came in pretty late, but I was so impressed when I saw those presentations. I feel like they're clear, easy to understand, and I think they are really going to empower our parents and our community. So. Like kind of like what Cynthia was saying, like advocacy is so important. Sometimes parents are already advocating for their child and they're not aware of. So again, these trainings are for parents. Our goal, our timeline is to train 50 parents within the year. So at the end of June of 2026, our fiscal year, so not the year, the fiscal year. But we want to start with the first set of 25 parents in hope that once we do the training with the first 25 parents, they'll then give us their feedback on the training, how they're now using this to advocate for their child as well. Like we're hoping to, have them come out and share like their stories. Yes.
I just wanted to add something just in case you guys are unaware, but the importance of please get involved because DEI funding has been pulled from my administration and all levels of our federal. And so right now, NASA, all their DEI department got let go. They're now letting go more and more people, more and more now of our systems are losing their DEI, and we really need to advocate on why DEI is so important and learn the work that DEI makes. So I really hope that you guys can come and learn and really fight for DEI. So.
And it's important, it really is. We just, best our team to stand up here and be like, oh, let's do this A, B, and C, on DEI or any of these trainings. But if it doesn't make sense to you and you're just like, no, we need to have this. I'm not in the community and I'm seeing this. Let's make sure we include this that relates to the Antelope Valley. So just going back on the presentation, one of our successes is that we are on track within our timeline. I have been sharing with them through our meetings what our timeline is. Our next meeting is next Tuesday. It is on Zoom. I will, if you are interested in the policy advocacy project, which I hope you guys are, I am gonna just ask you guys to go see Lizette in the back, and she will be able to register you on our link tree for this policy advocacy change agenda project. And then moving on, I do also want to share that this one, because that's my presentation. If you are a parent, and you're interested in these trainings and taking these trainings, we do have an interest form that's up and running. It's a quick little interest form. It, explains everything. This would be like Cynthia and Denise will be now then facilitating these trainings to you all. So I'll leave this up there for a couple of minutes or a couple seconds. And then I'm going to move on. Well, actually, before I move on, does anybody have any questions regarding the policy committee change agenda?
You guys gonna meet?
So we are meeting twice a month. We do not have a set schedule as of right now, just because I understand everyone's busy. So we're really each meeting kind of seeing, okay, what day works for everybody and what time. We hope in the future that there is a set date and, that we have. But right now we are just meeting twice a month. Our next meeting is next Tuesday. And then next Tuesday, we'll see when everybody else is available and then we'll meet again.
Do you guys have the time for that?
Yes. This time we moved it a little to the evening. So it'll be 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Yes, Jean.
Just a quick question. I know you shared like the QR codes for
The interest one? Yes.
but for all the ones that need parents, do we happen to have like hard copy flyers?
Not yet. I haven't created a flyer for this. This is literally just like, you guys are exclusive people to see the engineer. The first people. So I haven't had time to create a flyer yet for that interest form.
But if you do,
Yeah.
I would be more than happy, especially with the parents.
Yes.
To pass those out because I have a big workshop coming up with you.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
And also, the parents in the child.
Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. So no, thank you so much, and we will appreciate that. It is on our link tree, which is the QR code is included in all our other flyers, but I'll be sure to create a flyer specifically for that. Yeah, so they have it all.
For the workshop, I'll put it in their back.
Awesome. Yes, thank you. And that's something we do appreciate because we have talked about in our policy committee, like we'll recruit, 3 parents each, and see if we can reach up to the first 25. Just a reminder, we hope to train 50 by the end of next year, June 2026. If there's no other questions, I'm just gonna move on to the stakeholder engagement part. So with this one, I know Darrell kind of showed all the CCAs in the beginning, and there's 3 different ones in this stakeholder engagement collaboration section. The one that we're focusing on right now is developing childcare resource hub. So with that being said, we right now are finalizing what that would include at each hub. What resources would that include? What would the hubs provide? And the hubs that we're hoping for are those who service families with children 0 to 5. Right now, we're also searching for any agencies or organizations that again service families who have children 0 to 5, who is interested in becoming a ECE resource hub. So if you have a nonprofit, an agency, an organization, and you service families with children 0 to 5, and you see a need that, you know, they're having trouble signing up for childcare, you know, please reach out to me. We'll love to have you guys as a hub. Like I said, the resources are kind of getting finalized. If there's anything we're missing, and you think like, hey, you're missing this, you should include this, you know, that is a perfect opportunity as well for you guys to, you know, collaborate as, on this project. This one is, this one we don't have like, we have the stakeholders involved, but any questions on this?
What is being a hub, entail? Is that for training the people who are interested in?
So with the hub, not only will you have the resources at your guys' facilities, but you will also be hosting 2 trainings quarterly. One for let me make sure, is it quarterly or month? Yeah, quarterly. One for childcare providers. The other one would be for the parents. So that is basically what each resource hub will entail. Just having those resources up for families as well as doing those trainings.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what's your name?
Stephanie.
I can't get in contact.
For those who don't know, I'm Stephanie Reyes. Partnership lead.
Something like that.
Yes, like that would be an option. Right now, we do have, I want to say 2 partners of ours that are ready to facilitate their trainings as well. So like say if like you do become a hub and you don't have, you know, you're like, oh, I don't have, you know, the trainings up and going yet. Best Start will help you get those trainings up and going. But yes, it will. You could also do that. There's no other questions. Let me see. So what to expect next? Again, if you're interested in, you know, participating in any of these projects, please reach out to the leads. We're here to, you know, give you all the information, send you updates of when the project groups are meeting. Like they'll share when, where, and how. Move on. I think now I'm gonna hand it off to Dorel. Which one is next? Oh yeah, no, actually, I'm gonna hand it off to Glory.
We have so much to ask for you guys, huh? You're like, where do I get on payroll? No.
A little bit of our welcome committee, we're also needing participants. You're like, again, how many should I be enrolling myself in? But believe me and trust me, all this is very helpful, very beneficial, having awareness, having community be aware of resources. Myself, working through Best Start, like what Cynthia was mentioning, advocating, I came across my child not being enrolled with a TK. So that was a big, don't get me advocating over there. And it was due to, I'm gonna be very honest and transparent, due to Best Start advocacy workshops, trainings, that I was able to enhance that. And so as we're going through this and asking participation, be part of this, this is a very helpful, very useful for you to wear, to use. Yeah, I wear like an armor. When it comes that you need to use this type of tools. So going into our welcome committee, we're focusing on getting the community involved, informing others about Best Start and work being done within the initiative, strengthening the Best Start, keeping up current partnerships engaged and active. Post meeting, we mailed out. We're in the works still because I had a low participation on the mailing out postcards to attendees to just re-invite them again. We're seeing, we're struggling with that. But there's so much going on as well that we also understand, community fears. There's also kids going back to school. So, and also, yeah, being honest, like having you guys right now be part of this, it's just valuable time for you. And so we're very grateful that you guys are here. So within our communities, I know we have low count and we're trying, but we have that also aware that that's happening too within our community. But this is what we focus on. If you guys are interested, please, you will have a bright personnel Gloria all the time saying, hey, we're coming. So, you would get that as a treat, guys. So that's us. If you're interested, please sign up. Here and there, I'll bring my daughter, Angelina. I didn't even realize her right now. That's my daughter covering her eyes. Mom, that's enough. We had enough of you. Just realized that. So yeah, that's our welcome committee. If you guys are interested, please speak to the Senate and so we can register. Well, have you like sign up for our next welcome committee? Yes, Ms. Jack.
Are the meetings in person or online?
Right now in person, we had previously we're meeting up twice a month, and then our new participants like, no, let's meet once a month and let's do it in person. So that's no, that is a different, that is the business welcome committee. I know we have a lot, huh? You're like, I should put a tree where they got this, they got that. And so can you imagine, like, we have all this and we're like, come on, guys, be on board. You're like, no, I'm already tired with the second one. I don't want to go. But yes, no, that is different, but also the play group is another way that we're getting money to be involved in within this partnership, letting them know what the start is. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move it on. Yeah. Oh, moving it on. So you have to choose which one you're gonna be with. Okay, so our partnership policy, come on, Stephanie, because this was a part of you and you again, but we did have something amazing last week that we all participated in. For those of you that Denise is like all around. She tied her husband said, look, I'm tired y'all taking my wife. Too bad, we have it now. But if you were able, for those, our team members, come on up, because we are gonna share what we went to, and I'm gonna hand this off to Stephanie.
Yes, so we did invite the policy committee to attend the Black ECE Symposium. Their topic was dismantling linguistic oppression. So as much as I want to take all the credit, I do want to thank Carla because before we transitioned, she was the one that really suggested to attend this and have the policy committee attend as well. So this is another cool thing why you guys should join, like Gloria said, we don't, it's a lot, but we obviously are, helping as well. We want you guys to attend and see why it's so important, this stuff. So for me attending this, it was like, I'm working on creating these presentations to share with parents and what's important and something the DEI is very important. The multilingual, I learned Black language. That is important. Why in our data maps that we saw that so many Black, brown students are getting expelled, suspended. We know that they know multiple languages. Maybe the, teachers aren't being supported in that way. This is just an example. I'm not saying this is it, this is what's happening, but so me joining, being able to be there really helped me expand my knowledge on what is really needed to be in these trainings for parents here in the Antelope Valley that, we're living in, and how can I tailor it so it's understandable and inclusive, but also relates to the Antelope Valley as a community, not so much, whole LA County. So yeah, so that's my little, I'll let Denise, again, Denise is a part of the policy committee, so.
Yeah, Denise is a little bit of everywhere, but it's awesome because this is my passion. My passion is working with families and children. So this gives me the opportunity to do it. And the whole symposium, it was awesome. And I learned so much that I didn't understand. And for me, it was so eye-opening. Some of the things that I took away from it was the linguistics, of course, and overcorrecting as educators. And I know I even found myself overcorrecting sometimes. And just as Stephanie was talking about the linguistics and how people say words depends upon where you grew up, how your family pronounces things, and to understand even the Black language even more. I mean, my husband is Black, and obviously I've had it in my life for over 25 years. However, getting a better understanding of it and things like simple words, like even for myself, I was able to relate back as a child when I would say, I'm going to wash something. But because of the way I say wash, I say wash. And it sounds like there's an R in it. And I used to get corrected, no, Denise, as wash. Well, for me, wash sounds really funny. And it's really hard to say. But that's my linguistics. Other terms that I use because of my background being in Oklahoma and the Midwest and the combination of, I've got some mixed up linguistics a little bit. But I learned about that. And then understanding more about code switching. That was so eye-opening to me to get a better understanding. And oftentimes, some of us, some of our children, code switch without even thinking about it because of who you're with and who you're talking to, that sometimes you can't be yourself. And that's what I took away from it, is we need to allow our children to be who they are, irregardless of what culture they come from, what background they come from. We need to allow them to be who they are. And that's the most important thing that I took away from the whole symposium, is allow our children to be.
Thank you, Denise. What I want to share, what I took from this as staff, one of the biggest things that for me, even myself, I've always struggled with grammar, right? So when I went to this, I realized that one of the speakers emphasized a lot of, let's teach our kids effective communication. Let's not police them in grammar. So for me, that was like very impactful, that hearing someone say that how you speak or how you say certain things, as long as we understand and you're communicating effectively for others to understand you, that there's no wrong for doing that. You know, so me being 25 years old, it really was impactful. It like healed a part of my inner child of that all my life I've been struggling with. And I find myself, well, I'm an effective communicator. So was very, it healed a little of inner person of me. And so with that being said, this is how much empowering and powerful this was. So for me, for a staff, you know, like Denise was saying, we all took something different, but it was very impactful. So that was for me.
Okay. I guess we're all providing our feedback here. You know, there was something that's kind of stuck with me too, that kind of speaks a lot on this whole symposium. We had a panelist there who said, you know what, in high school, I was growing up, I would say axe instead of ask. She said, she had my teacher, I'm in Crenshaw High School. She's a white teacher. She says, no, it's not ask, it's ask. And the panel says, you know what, I just can't say it. So she went into the dictionary, looked for, actually the source, looked for an alternative to the word, and she started using the word beseech. I beseech of you. And it's because she just couldn't say ask the way that she was culturally raised to say it. But you know, and there was another panelist that said, look, I'm a historian in this. I you know, had to do a lot of schoolwork into looking at Old English. And she said, you know what, the way to say ask originally was, it was ask. Like it was originally in Old English, ask. So it's like, I don't know, we saw the healing of an inner child on stage, live, in person, at that symposium with the panelists themselves. So there was a lot to be had at this conference. But ultimately, I think this speaks very well to us, and even within our data community too, in understanding the language, which is a huge part of the research that we put out, is making sure that we understand that there is a capacity for us to speak the way that we were raised to speak, and understand that within school that needs to translate as well. So, if a child speaks a certain way or is raised to speak a certain way, we understand that that's a second language as opposed to standardized English.
Yeah.
Right? And so that if you're, for example, a Black child, you're bilingual, you speak two different kinds of English. So that was a really massive takeaway for us within the conference. And I think that's something that made a huge mark. And as Denise said, eye-opening for all of us, not even just as educators, but as individuals living in a community, right? But yeah, so that's my experience.
I also want to share, what we're doing now is, obviously we want to promote more culturally affirming care for Black children. So Black ECE does have an Institute for Culturally Affirming Practices for Black Children. It's a workshop or a cohort 2. They're doing that has different, that has 5 sections. So what Best Start is doing now, we're now sponsoring 2 partners here in our Best Start initiative to attend this cohort. So they then will attend these cohorts and then come back to us at one of our regional meetings and really share out what they learned, how they're going to incorporate this into, their childcare or their agency, their nonprofit. So that's very exciting too. And this all came from them being partners with us. This came from them being a part of attending the Black ECE symposium. So I just want to share that too, that we do want to expand Black ECE and what they're doing and what they're practicing here in the AB, because we know it's important. And this is the first step that we're taking. We're sponsoring 2 community partners to attend, to participate in this cohort. And then I'm gonna go on to the radio.
Yeah, so, here we go back. Okay, so, yeah, I was there. And it was such an amazing affirmation of learning linguistically. I already knew I was bilingual. And it was affirming that I know 2 languages on the crust of learning 3 or 4. But the information that was bought and how we can expand it here in the Antelope Valley was amazing. And the willingness of the team that were the established Black ECE, willing to come here to the Antelope Valley because they recognize that we are the outskirts of LA County, but they know the need here in the Antelope Valley. So I was able to share with some of my cohorts and folks there and said, if we laughed about it, we did our dance and, the boots on the ground. I said, yeah, dance, that's what we do when we go to a professional thing, we dance. And I said, they didn't understand. I said, well, what is Mom and them? If I say Mom and them, how many of you know what Mom and them is? Okay. What does that mean? You understand? All right. So Mom and them is my mom, my uncles, my aunts, my people, my family. And so when we talk in these languages and just understanding that Black children, they come from cultural and they have been coding. We know how to slip and code. I speak one way when I'm in front of one audience. I know how to go back into my home language in front of another audience. That it can be very stressful. It's very stressful. But and sometimes, as one of the speakers said, sometimes we don't want everybody to know what we are saying. So if I give you a look and my peeps know, if I give you a look and don't say nothing, how many of you know what that meant? See, some people like, I don't get it. What she mean? She didn't say nothing. I said plenty, I said a whole paragraph in one look. So just understanding that our children and our little ones go into, and these are things that we need to incorporate as we are developing curriculum for early childhood education, because our little ones come in with looks that their families give and language that we might not comprehend. It might be misunderstood. Doesn't mean that they are challenged intellectually. They're not on the spectrum. They just communicate differently. So we're going to incorporate all of that. I know Carla has something else she wanted to share with you, but it was such an amazing, I wish I had bought my work, but they had oh my gosh, it was awesome. It was awesome. And you can be a part of Black ECE because you can join and go on their website and be a part of that. It's called Black ECE. And they have a whole website you can join and be a part of that. I would encourage it.
Quick remark regarding Black UCE and why the Best Art team and the policy committee attended this symposium. It ties back into the idea that we're not just changing how we do things here in the Antelope Valley, if we can explain it that way, but it's ensuring that we are preserving culture, right? Culturally affirming services. The idea that a child care provider, let's say myself, I'm Mexican, I speak Spanish. If I have children of another ethnicity or race under my care, in this case, Black children, how can I ensure culturally affirming services if I don't understand their culture? Right, so imagine if we could bring Black ECE, offer the institute that they offer virtually at the moment, if we could offer that for childcare providers here in our community who have shared in the past, I'm not familiar with their culture. I don't know what they might like. I might not know. I think one of the biggest things for me regarding Black ECE was that when they initially started, they launched their like a hair toolkit, right? And that was one of the stories that also stayed with me about a childcare provider who called her coach and said, "Hey, I have a Black child in my care, and mom asked me to help with her hair. I see she's struggling a little bit. She's having to rush to work, but I don't know how to do her hair. What can I do?" And it was a story that just touched everyone and made us realize, like, there is so much more that we need to learn to better service children in our care. And so when they launched the Black hair toolkit, for me it was like, I want to learn that, because you put a Black child in front of me and ask me to do their hair, I really don't know where to start, right? And that might be the same for many childcare providers who have never had a child in their care, who might need that special service or particular service, not that it's special, right? Because it's just part of who they are. So again, for me, attending the Black ECE symposium last year was so empowering, and it opened my eyes to how much more we as a community need to learn about each other and how childcare providers can better service children in their care. And that does go for anyone who cares for children, right? Not just childcare providers, but even for community-based organizations we have a lot of receptionists, case workers who on a day-to-day work with others who are not of a similar background as them, right? And we can be very insensitive when we don't understand.
Yeah.
And when we finally understand, when we go, oh, I know why this takes a little bit longer, I know why this is important to you, we can empathize and go, okay, I see why you need a moment, right? And not, oh, the mother is careless, the parent doesn't care, they're always late. We always look for like, what is wrong? And so again, for me, Black ECE, like, it's so important the work that they are doing. We really want to be able to bring that into the Antelope Valley as well. I strongly encourage you to visit their website like Carol said. Question, I see you. Did you have a question?
Oh.
Or you're-
I think I might have forgot what it was. Oh, no, okay, here it is. So you guys say you are gonna sponsor 2 community partners to participate in the cohort. Is the cohort Black ECE or is there a certain?
It is Black ECE. They have dates. I think Steph, can you share the dates?
It's on the website as well.
She'll send an email with the information so you guys can review. This is a big commitment. And as you can see here at Best Start, we are doing a lot, right? The idea is that this is for the community, by the community. So when we're offering these opportunities, there is a commitment on your behalf to say, hey, you know, I don't know, like 10 sessions or something.
There's
Five sessions. Five sessions,
September and next year in January.
very specific dates and times to make sure that this is something, because we have had instances where people sign up and then they can't.
Sorry, for any confusion, we do have the 2 people already.
Oh,
Yeah, we do have, but if you want to do it, you can, like, it's, you can check it on Black PCD website. It's just that we're just, West Star is just sponsoring it too. But if anyone's going to, because it's on their website, they're the ones.
Got it, okay.
And then we're just in Hell
You know, the website.
The institute is online.
online. It's online. Okay.
Yeah, so it's online, there's 5 sessions, each session is 6 minutes to 8. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I got the book, so if you want to see Black ECE, come see me. Next, we're gonna move it along. We coming to we're sliding in the home. Okay, updates for data committee, David.
Alright, okay, so like I said, guys, Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Zoom. So what's gonna be our next data committee session? It's on every last Tuesday, like I said, 11 a.m. Zoom. This little piece right here just includes a little quick snapshot of a goal that we aim to reach. So as we mentioned, our childcare needs assessment, we decided that we need at the very least 30 individual providers to provide a response to this assessment. Otherwise, the data kind of doesn't look good. You know, you need an end count that exceeds 30 so that we can actually get enough diverse responses that provide a breadth of data that we can analyze on that one. So that's our hope. As we continue, as we finalize the draft, as we have our final draft, actually, our next steps here are to create that outreach plan. So reaching out to child providers to actually, fill this in. So, if you are a provider. You got other provider friends that would be interested, we have incentives for that as well. Carla and I were talking, we're approving this $3,000 creative curriculum kit.
Oh, okay.
As like a. That's like a raffle, but there's other supplies, creative supplies and, like first aid and fire extinguishers are also part of that. So things that a child provider would definitely appreciate. So we do have that available and we want to get as many of our providers in the Antelope Valley to respond. So that's our update. Yes.
And where would we go to do the?
It's online.
It's
It's all online. Yes.
Okay.
So easily accessible. You don't have to be somewhere.
Are you going to send it out?
Oh, yeah.
How does that?
Yes. So the same way that we send out, for example, if you responded to our demographic survey, for example, that's an example of it. You get the links of, hey, if you are a provider, let us know what kind of provider you are within the survey, fill it out, it's all online, easily accessible.
Or Jen, sorry, you as a provider, do you feel like, do you feel like there's a better way that we should share out this survey as a provider?
I know a lot of times, speaking for myself, I get a lot of emails because I'm in a lot of groups. I don't actually look at everything like that. I would be like, okay, sorry, David, you don't send me, So maybe, yes.
Like personal.
Yes. Text message, or if you guys have a group, I know some organizations have those groups like massive text. Because you see that, you're gonna look at yourself.
What's that?
Yeah, you're gonna look at that. We are. So maybe that would be better, so it don't, because what you just said about the demographics, seeing that.
Mhm.
I don't even know if I got it, but I don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
So I think it would be okay to do the email because some people are, but also maybe some type of group text that don't take a lot for me calling each person, because that's a lot of work too,
Mhm.
that you guys could put in and then massively send. So what's that?
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, guys, participatory feedback. It's what we need. Otherwise, if we did this within a silo, we would reach like 2 people. So, yeah. So thank you guys. That's our committee updates. Please sign up. It's all on my.
Next, our sustainability committee. Here's Carla on that one.
Okay, sustainability. I feel like sustainability is the one that nobody wants to join, guys. It's always been in Israel. But we are moving towards a quarterly meeting with our sustainability committee. As you can see right now with the projects, it is consuming a lot of the time for our staff, and for our partnership, right? Especially for those who are involved in multiple, projects. The Sustainability Committee focuses on shaping the future of Bustard. How community-led work continues beyond funding. Year after year, we have shared how the Bustard budget has continuously decreased. First, FIDA as an organization has they have a new strategic plan, and while early childhood education is part of that strategic plan, there are 8 other areas. Housing insecurity and poverty alleviation being one of the 2 top priorities, which we will bring on more information about those 2 specific topics once we get more input on how we are expected to deliver on these 2 topics. But as of right now, the idea is like these projects, as you can see, staff is really pushing through in creating these curriculums so that by the end of the fiscal year, meaning June 30th of 2026, that we have these projects finalized and that they belong to the community. They stay with the community. Once our funding goes, everything else goes too, right? So we want to make sure we get that into the hands of the community so that it stays with the community. That's not to say that there won't be a Bustard next year, but if we might not have as much funding. Does that make sense? So there are many opportunities right now in terms of grants that community-based organizations, 501c3s can apply for. That's nonprofit organizations. In the Sustainability Committee, one of the things that we do want to focus on is how do we identify those grants and how do we apply for them. This Sustainability Committee, as well as the work of Bustard, does focus on 0 to 5, which is what makes this group very peculiar. In other groups, the focus might not necessarily be family 0 to 5, it's just the general community, adults, veterans. So that's what makes this Sustainability Committee peculiar. It's family 0 to 5, what grants are available to either create programs or continue work here in the community that focuses on family 0 to 5. In these meetings, we hope to be able to build skills, including leadership, grant writing, and other tools to keep these community projects strong. And we want to lead together as a team. We want to create a plan that makes Bustard's efforts sustainable for years to come. Again, with the idea that we are building these resource hubs, should Bustard, continue or have to phase out, we have built hubs in our area, in our communities that can still support early care and education, right? That we have given our partners here in our community the tools that they need to keep this work going, so that it's also spreading throughout the Antelope Valley. Right now, all four kids is we're over here kind of like West Palmdale, right? So we know that this might not be as accessible for Lancaster, East Palmdale, Little Rock, those areas. So we want to make sure we can spread the information throughout the Antelope Valley so that it remains accessible for the years to come. I think for a long time, the area has been very dependent on maybe like the Resource and Referral Agency, Department of Social Services. We want to make sure that families have access to these resources directly in their neighborhoods. So we need to empower community members. We need to empower childcare providers, our community leaders. We want to make sure that this information is in your hands, before things change. Especially, I know times are tough for everyone under the current administration. And so we just want to make sure that we complete these projects by the end of the year and the information stays in the hands of the community. Policy committee and email will go out as we have not necessarily established a meeting date. We do have to meet before the end of September, so an email will go out with an invitation. For anyone who's interested in signing up, please make sure you click on that link, register, and you'll receive more information. Any questions? Comments, concerns? Also, just want to remind you guys, this is the time, like, this is your space. Community members, let us know, what you think of these projects, what, of the committee's work. Let us know what else we can do to support in the community. All right.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You know how we do it, but for those who, you are, how in church, this is how I do in church, when somebody keep going up for their third and final closing, amen. Amen.
Shout out, we do have a new staff member that we said we would not introduce in July because the July meeting was a little bit different. I would like everyone to welcome Carmen over here in the back. She is our program specialist. And we didn't get an opportunity to give her a proper welcome here at our last month. So I just want to give her that shout out.
Yes, welcome, Carmen. And she landed with boots on the ground. We put her to work immediately. So, learning opportunities that are coming up here for our best start. We have building bridges through multi-services coordination for a stronger community. So register now. This is going to the registration. It's closed. That big old sign, registration is now closed. Well, we just want to show you what you missed. It was there, but when you snooze, you lose. It's closed now. Well, we'll do a feedback on how good it was. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Become a community child care educator. Yeah, come on, Stephanie.
So again, how we were going over the, our projects. We are recruiting now community childcare educators that will learn about childcare options, costs, enrollment process. That will then go out to the community, help these families understand, the options, costs, the enrollment process, what fits best for them. Maybe there are families that can't go to CCRC. They can't travel all the way down here. So let's meet them at Lake LA. Let's meet them at Little Rock. Let's meet them at Palmdale, Lancaster, meeting them where they're at. They'll attend resource fairs. They'll go out. Then they'll gain understanding on how to open a childcare business. This is the other project that we're talking about. Dorel's working on with her group, project group, to help future aspiring childcare providers. David mentioned earlier that we are a childcare desert. This is a way that we can help, others understand how to open up a business. Maybe they are your friends, maybe they are your family, maybe they're your neighbors that are already taking care of these kids, and they don't know that they could start a business out of this. So so if you're interested or you know somebody that's interested in really learning all of this, please sign up. This will be a whole year, but they will be committed. Oh, a whole fiscal year. Sorry, I know I keep saying this, but a whole fiscal year. So by June 2026, they will be trained in both of this. They'll be out in the community already engaging with, aspiring childcare providers and parents who are looking for childcare. So we have the QR code here to apply. Then the AVPH ladies do have the flyers as well in the back. So, Jen, if you wanted to take it to some parents, or you have a workshop coming up, or any of you guys, wanted to take some flyers, please do so. We also will be sending it out via email on our recap email. So just wanted to share that. Do you guys have any questions regarding the community childcare educator? This all ties into the community change project. Anyway, it's all coming together.
Is there a fee associated?
No, there's no fee. There's no fee. So they will apply. In the application, it has a deadline of the last day to apply. And then it has the date that they will receive an email saying, we want you to become an educator, like the next steps and all that. So, but there's no fee to apply.
And you send it out on email?
We will send it out in email. It will be on the recap, and it will be also its own email as well. We'll post it on social media, and as well we have the flyers in the back. So, yeah. So,
Question.
yes.
All the trainings be in person or online or through Zoom or?
So that is one of the questions that we have in the application, because that is not finalized yet. We want to hear more feedback from who wants to become an educator, and we're also, obviously, the projects, those who are in the project, working on the project, they will also be the ones facilitating it, so we'll then see like what works best for everyone. Is it online, is it Zoom, what time, what days? So, yes, so that is that. Any other questions? No, then I'm gonna give it back to Lorel.
Okay, so, oh, my hands. Quickly, I did have another announcement. I just wanted to give you all the feedback on our boarding the bus event that we had here, 3 weeks ago. We were able to actually disperse of over 200 backpacks for TKs. Yeah, it was a really great event, very well attended. Thank you for, who's Cynthia? Sandy. And Gladia. They did an amazing job with the families. We were able to get those backpacks out, and we serviced, the regional center, SLEA, Ian Love, the Ohana Center, Save the Children. Did we miss anybody else? Anybody else? Some backpacks? ABPH. So we were able to do that. That was a great success. So we do that every year. So that was really good. It was really good. Thank you all. Thank you all for attending. Those who came, thank you for your partnership. It was amazing.
Just to clarify though, so we had boarding the bus, we distributed 30 backpacks, and then our partners received about 30 backpacks each, and they distributed to the family of children entering TK and kindergarten. We also distributed some here as yesterday. So there were still a couple of parents who like, the little ones didn't get a backpack, so that was wonderful to see families receive those age appropriate supplies and ready to start the backpack distribution with the school district. Our 4 and 5-year-olds typically get a backpack that with pencils that are sometimes a little too big, or the really skinny pencil, the other 2 pencils. And for our little ones, they really need those thicker pencils so that they can get a good grip. And Janet's like, yes, they do. So it's nice to see families with children receive the resources that the little ones actually.
Right.
I was gonna add in those backpacks, you guys gave this triangle crayon. And my son does struggle with his motor skills, and he was able to use them now to be able to color. And he did his lesson outside the line, so thank you so much.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, our community announcements as we head on into our time. We have coming up, starting 8/23, and it will go to November the 8th, our effective Black fatherhood parenting class. And if you know any men, we have men that are interested in being a part of this. The flyers will be sent out to you, but you can get that QR code and scan it and make contact. That is Michael Hampton down there. They have giveaways. It's such an amazing program for our dads. We want to make sure we are always inclusive of our fathers. Also, our father discussion group through our DMH at our Antelope Valley Spa 1, through the Department of Mental Health. Mr. Crones is really, James Crones, a part of the Department of Mental Health, is facilitating that. He's one of the directors over there. So let dads know, hey, we see you. You are a part of our children. Right. We focus on moms and hey, they in here by themselves. So we had to encourage our fathers. They are a part of the family. Make sure we keep them lifted up and encouraged. Also, we have another class. Okay. Hey, yesterday, in fact, we were able to give some extra backpacks. We have here at All for Kids our free produce distribution. We're able to come and be a part of that and get some vegetables and some fruit. Some of us aren't. Okay. Listen. It went away. I don't know what happened with that. No.
let's try it again. I'm gonna go one more time. Cause I don't know why that went away. But anyway, it was our food bank that we have here at All for Kids. We do it, every once a month. And yesterday we did it on the 20th. In September, we'll have it again. And, on the 17th, October, it will be on the 15th. We will be sending out flyers. Take some flyers, be a part of that. Okay, they give fresh produce. I got, anybody can get a bag. You don't have to sign up. You could just come and get that. Make sure you see it. And I can tell you firsthand, the fruit is and the vegetables are so just organically fresh. But they have these giant carrots, and I'm like, what bunny grew those carrots? I'm like, oh my, one carrot will feed all three people in my household with one carrot. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Also, we want to continue on with the things we need to know to support our immigration community. These are things that are still in place. If you come through our front door, we are advocating and supportive of our migrant families. We all not, but we want to make sure that you have everything you need to know how to protect yourself, resources that are available here in our community. We want to make sure that our community is aware and educated and supported, right? Absolutely, absolutely. This is my third and final closing. What time that was. Okay, these are some more resources, ways to support an undocumented individual who is struggling during these challenging times. There are resources, so we want to make sure that we put this up. Take pictures. Again, the flyers will be provided for you, but you can take pictures of the QR codes that are available. This is important. In our Palmdale office. Well, Palmdale, how do you do that?
This flyer is from Salva, the organization Salva. They do have a rapid response network. Their office is located over on Avenue S. The rapid response network is active Monday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you'd like to be part of the rapid response network, you can fill out that, scan the QR code and it takes you into an interest form. Becoming part of the rapid response network means that you'll receive a text message, some form of communication when there is a report of ICE in the community. One of the things that Salva has been amazing at is making sure that there's no misinformation regarding ICE activity in our community. So whenever we get a report, whenever there is an ICE sighting, the rapid response network will send someone to the location. They will go live on their Instagram, their Facebook to make sure like, hey, whether there is or there isn't, I think for the most part, all sightings have been debunked. So it's really important, right, that we are spreading information correctly and that we're not misinforming the community. So we do want to share there is someone in our community that is Salva who is sharing this information.
Okay, all right. Well, we are question.
Es pregunta, es un comentario, se me hace bien bonita la voz que está haciendo Salva porque mucha gente está atemorizada y ellos pasan y ya mira uno, oh, no hay nada, ya va avisando uno a las otras. Todo está despejado, pueden ir a comprar. La verdad yo felicito a Salva porque hacen muy bonito trabajo para la comunidad.
I want to say thank you to Salva for the beautiful work that they are doing because a lot of families right now are very terrified about what's going on in our community. So they feel more relaxed, knowing that information that when they go to the store, they go shopping or they do some, that type of stuff, they feel safe. And Salva is doing a very great job in what they're doing.
That's good news. That's good to know. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you. We are coming to the conclusion. Thank you for following us. These are ways you can follow the Start Antelope Valley. You can scan that QR code, get to our link tree. Everything that we are doing currently is already listed. You can follow us on Facebook. You can subscribe to us on our website, our YouTube channel, our Instagram. We are here and we want to encourage you to be informed with our Best Start TV. again, thank you. Scan this, pick our surveys. What do you think? How are we doing? What can we do better? What would you suggest? And then, how can you actively be a part? Now, I'm gonna tell Denise she can't join another committee because she is extended, but we need others. If you want to be a part of the pilot project, so everybody gave their time and listen, the pilot program, capacity building, we online every other Monday for an hour. We talk and then we come back. So you can join our committee, but if you are interested in joining one of the projects, talk to us. We need your voice. And then if you have any recommendations, just let us know. If you want to be a part of a committee, let us know. We need you. All right? We also have lunch provided for you, ready for you. So see, if you follow us, we will feed you. I guess just follow us. Don't yeah. See, everybody got happy at that point. Like, oh, hallelujah. Okay. So scan the QR code. Take a moment, complete the survey. If you did not scan the sign in, please do that. Really do want to capture your attendance. Thank you so much for your time today. If you are interested in seeing the book from ECE, the Black ECEs, come see me. I'll show it to you. Stephanie.
Yes, and signing in is also important because how the presentation and the resources shared.
Yes. So sign in so she can send you these flyers. Okay? All right, everyone. Come grab a lunch. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day. Hold on.
Hi, you guys. Just 1 minute of your time. I am the program manager of the Mommy Mentor Network with Youth with a Purpose. So if you know any Black mommies that want to be a mentee and have mentorship from more seasoned Black moms that can help them throughout the year, help them with advice, raising their children, going to sister circles, hanging out together, paint nights, things like that, reach out to me. I have a QR code here. We're also looking for mentors, okay? Mentors and mentees, okay? Thank you.
Got another card.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, no. I wasn't ready.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Wanna be back.
Oh.
Wait,
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
One more question. Bethel has something to say. Give us a minute, please.
Yes. I do believe it. If I don't- Yeah, I don't know, we could just give him our attention.
Bethel had one thing.
Hold your comments for a quick second here. Okay. So the government permitted the staff for Best Start LA for the state, for the parents from 0 to 5 to support and to be more involved, for all of us to be more involved. Secondly, you know, body language and your culture, you know, like people that have alcohol problems, and sometimes there's miscommunication. Some of those people cannot control themselves. It's called brainwash. You know, they're brainwashed. They can't control what they do. So parents with children, you know, this is connected. You know, we need to support each other and have more communication about some of these issues with, you know, for our children. You know, some of the parents who are older, maybe they don't know how to connect with their younger children. You know, sometimes your facial expressions, you know, sometimes you're over here punishing them and yelling at them. It's best to start with these meetings here at the AV for us to be involved and encourage learning communication so that we can be successful in supporting each other. And then you know, like the Black body language, their language, you know, I might not understand it, and we might not understand each other, but it doesn't matter. We need to interact more often with each other so we can smoothly change that communication. We got to interact more one-on-one. We need to come here. We need to invite more people out in our communities to come here and be involved. You know, in last year, you know, there were some problems, and there was some issues with the use of money, and